Welcome to the introduction to Cherry Turnabout Stamp Set. This fun turnabout is going to allow you to create a whole background filled with cherries. I mean, what could be better than that? But on top of it, this is actually a double turnabout. So you have a turnabout that's going to be for your actual cherries, and then a turnabout for your leaves and your stems so you can mix and match your colors. There's also some sentiments included in this set, and these are kind of like that label type of look to them. So when you stamp it in any color, I happen to use black, it's going to create that label look that you would just trim out into a thin strip. So you have sentiments you can create like you're sweet, you're sweeter than a cherry pie, have a sweet day, or oh so sweet. So there's lots of different things you can do with those sentiments. Now, here's a quick look at some of the examples I created for some backgrounds. I really had fun playing with the different shades of pinks and reds for these backgrounds. I'll try and remember them all. That first one there, I did all of my cherries, I think in grapefruit ink. And then here I have a couple different mixes. I used maybe some pink lemonade. I also may have sorbet and brickyard and pimento. Pimento is definitely one of my new favorites when it comes to making the cherry background. Okay, so now let's put this into action. And today I'm going to use my Stamp Wheel 2.0 from Altenew to do my turnabout, which makes this really easy. Now, I already have a 6x6 piece of pink lemonade cardstock loaded into my stamp wheel, and I'm going to stamp or start with turn one. I am using pink lemonade for my first color. Now, what I'm not showing is that I am stamping each of these layers twice, mainly because my ink pads need a spa day. Now, the second turn is going to be using honeysuckle, which looks amazing on pink lemonade cardstock. And I think I actually stamped honeysuckle twice. So I did it for turn two and for turn three. And just by turning my top plate for my stamp wheel makes this really easy. I don't have to move my cardstock at all. It's all staying nice and in place on that sticky mat. The last color I'm going to use for my last turn is going to be using Brickyard. I didn't need to stamp this one twice because this one is pretty brand new to my collection, and also looks amazing on the pink lemonade cardstock. So if you haven't tried colored cardstock yet for your stamping, I highly recommend it. Now, I removed my cherry turnabout and I lined everything up to do my stem. So, this is the second part of your turnabout. So, you're really getting two turnabouts in one stamp set. My first turn is going to be using Sprout ink. Again, that one I did stamp twice, mainly because Sprout is also a fairly light color, especially on pink lemonade. So, Sprout, I'm also going to stamp for turn one and for turn two. And then I'm going to be using parsley. I enjoyed kind of dipping back into the original colors, even though I really love avocado for a lot of my stamping. It was kind of refreshing to bring out sprout and parsley and give them some love. And then this is the last turn. Again, I'm using parsley for this. I just turned my plate for my stamp wheel to stamp that down, did not have to move my cardstock. And now I have this really gorgeous cherry background for a new card project. The first card example I want to share with you that I created is where I did tone on tone stamping for my turnabout. So here I used pink lemonade with pink lemonade ink. So it's all kind of monochromatic. And then I just did some white splatters in the background. I have honeysuckle cardstock for the background with the dashed lines embossing folder. I did my cherries from the Cherry Nice die set. I did those in honeysuckle to match my background and my card project, and then that pop of black for the sentiment. Now, I loved the entire release from July 2025 here, but I think this may be my favorite card I made out of the whole release. And this is again using the Cherry Nice dies to create that group of cherries. I have a circle vellum in the background, and then the turnabout that I have in the background is using the parsley, sprout, I think that may be grapefruit and then a pimento. Like I said, pimento was a real great ink to reach for the cherries. I trimmed the background just a little bit to leave a sentiment strip at the bottom. The sentiment comes from the Secret Garden Stacks stamp set. And then there's that strip of pimento cardstock for that separation. I had so much fun at creating these cards. That is an introduction to the Cherry Turnabout stamp set available at Concord and Ninth. Thanks for watching.